I'm looking at the interior of my car because this is the last time I'm gonna see it this way. I'm saying goodbye to the old ugly dash trim here. So I got the carbon fiber wrap, and I also got the red start button. So I'm gonna be installing that in the next clip or two. And I just wanted to take a look at how it looked when it was stock. Even though the car still looks stock, but it's getting there. It's gonna get there. Now, in order to remove the console, first things first, open this, take your left hand, place it here, right hand here on each corner, and then you're gonna pry towards you, and that is how you start it up. All right, so once you went ahead and loosen this area, I went ahead and loosened this area, you're gonna stick your hands and you're gonna pry upwards. Do not pry towards you, this direction, not straight. It's gotta go up, all right? All right, there you go. It's looking good. This side and this side is now already pried open. All I have to do is just do this side. Again, grab it from here, right hand here, left hand here, and pry up. Do not pry sideways, pry up, okay? Here we go. All right, so I'm holding it now because I was able to remove all the clips. Everything is ready, so I just need to do is disconnect these wires that you see behind me. They're very easy to remove. Take your time and then safely put your front console somewhere where it won't get scratched. Well, there you go. I was able to remove this whole console, disconnect the wires, and like I said, I'm gonna put this in the back seat where I know it won't get scratched. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna remove this bolt right here. Again, this is to remove this trim piece, and also I'm working on removing the black push start button. I'm gonna replace it with the red one. So we're gonna go ahead and remove this bolt. You're gonna need a 7mm socket, and then we're gonna work around here and we're gonna move this, what would you call this, a shroud, plastic shroud. We're gonna remove this to the side, but we're gonna have to yank it from right here, and we're gonna yank up. So there are some bolts here that we're gonna have to remove to get this out. So let's do that now. Okay, once you have your 7mm socket, you wanna do is loosen this. All right, in order for us to remove this plastic shroud, to get to that 7mm bolt that's right over here, to get to this panel, we're gonna have to take the shroud, take your right hand here and your left hand here, and you're gonna pry towards you down, okay? All right, cross what I said about putting your hands down here. There was a little gap that I saw right here, and I just put my pinky in there, and then I wedged my fingers in there, and I just pried down. By doing so, this also moved this panel right here. So now I'm just gonna work around this whole plastic shroud just to not remove it, but move it towards me, so I have enough space to get through these bolts here, as well as this side, because I'm also gonna remove this panel so I can wrap it. All right, there we go. I was able to remove this plastic shroud. Again, when it's all closed up, there's a little gap. As you can see right here, this wedge right there. When it's all closed up, there's a little wedge here. So I was able to put my pinky in there and just move it down. Apply enough pressure, and as you push this out and down, this also opens up. So there goes that 7mm bolt right there. Once you remove the 7mm bolt on that side, as well on this side right here, now as you can see, there's orange clips. So take your time removing this. You don't want to damage anything. You also don't want to scratch anything. I made a mistake several years ago in my Sonata, my old car. I was working on it, and I was time restrained, so I was trying to do it quickly, and I kind of scratched the dashboard. And that upset me because it was there most of the time now, and in order for me to remove that, to fix that, I had to get a new dashboard. So just take your time, don't rush. I'm gonna do this now with both of my hands. Yeah, I'm gonna use both of my hands for this. Now when you finish removing this, again, take both hands, use both hands, one right here and the other one on this side, and you're gonna yank towards you. That's what I did. And now, once you do that, you're going to see this wire right here, and you're gonna disconnect that, and then you're free to take this part out. And voila! And that is how you remove your push to start button, and that is how you remove this panel here. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove this. In order to do so, let's go ahead and remove that 7mm bolt that you see here. Let me zoom in. Okay, focus right there. This bolt right here, 7mm bolt. Remove that, and then you're gonna go ahead. You're gonna pry this out. Very simple. You can use your fingers as a gap. You see this plastic here? This plastic, along with this area, leaves a little gap. Just take your fingers and pry outwards. Make sure your door is open, you have enough space to pry this out. But because you removed that 7mm bolt, you're going to take your hand here and here, this area, and you're going to pry it down. Do not do it yet because that bolt is still there. So, okay, there we go. We removed the 7mm bolt. Now we're going to take your left hand right here, and then your right hand right here, and we're gonna pry down. There we go. I was able to pry that down, and then look at that hidden bolt. That's the one. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I removed it. That one over there is removed. That's all it is, those two screws. I'm gonna pop it slowly, this side, and then see if I can stick my finger, my nails, and try to apply upwards. And there you go. I was able to pry this bad boy up. It looks beautiful. Now, the way I removed this, I took one hand from this corner, my right hand here. What is this? Dust? Okay. I took my right hand and I applied pressure from right here along my left hand on this side. Then I was able to pry this open. Once I was able to remove this area, I stuck my finger here until this area was able to pop out. Once that popped out, then I started working my finger here and my fingers right here, and then I applied pressure upwards, and that's how I was able to take this out. All right, 2 down, 1 to go. All right, so now to remove this panel, as you can see right here, there is a 7mm bolt right here to get a better insight. And as you can see right here, there's a nice gap right here, and this is where you're going to squeeze your finger. Look, it's already moving. All right, I was able to remove that bolt, pry this out, and I'm just taking a look. Maybe I can move this or just move this, but I'm not going to do that yet. I open my glove box. Let me close it. Now open it, and I'm going to check to see if there's any hidden bolt. And I don't see anything. I do see clips. There's a clip there. Oh, there's a couple of clips. All right, that side was a lot easier than this. To pry this out, very simple. But what's giving me a hard time is this one right here. There's no hidden bolts here, so you're good. Once you remove this, you can easily just pry out. Everything is out, and look what I did. This one broke. I believe that one's, oh no, that one's a little broken too. All right, so that kind of pisses me off, but what I am gonna do to fix that, you can always get Gorilla Glue, epoxy glue, and then just bond them together. So I'm gonna do that for this side, but right now my concern is to pry this one out. It's stuck there. And I'm afraid I'm gonna yank it and I'm gonna crack this area. So everyone learn from my mistakes and just take your time. I've been taking my time, just for some reason it's stuck there. The other one was a piece of cake compared to this one. Okay, I was able to take it out. Now let's go see the damage. So these two right here, this is the one that was stuck right here. And it is good. Look, these two are good. And those are the two that were stuck. Well, mainly the one on top. But these two, oh boy. So I am gonna have to take my epoxy glue and bond those two together. So it's no biggie. All right, so I didn't realize it, but these are not Phillips screws. These are actually T10 screws, Torx screws. This is a T10, and that is what you're gonna need to remove these two. All right, so once you have this removed, in order for you to remove the push start button, and if you want to replace it to red or whatever you want to do with it, or just wrap this panel, you're going to go ahead and get yourself a Torx T10 bit, and you're going to remove those two screws. Remove it, and then you'll see that this is very simple to remove. Then we're going to transfer this plastic shroud to the new one. As you see here, beautiful, but I won't do that yet because I do want to carbon fiber wrap this panel. All right, so to remove this shroud here, there's this tab here. Don't mind the nails. These nails actually are helping me with wrapping the film. All right, so 1, 2, and I believe there's one at the bottom. Yep, this one right here. You're gonna have to pry with your fingers inwards so you can take this shroud out. Just look at it and make sure that it's gonna go the same way onto the new one. All right, so this is the area that I'm gonna be working with. I have a lot of inventory that I have to go through. These are the new things that I got in from my business. As you can see, I have a lot of inventory here, there, and there. So that is taking up space. I just got these stuff in yesterday. So bear with the space that I have here. I may not go in full detail how to wrap your these trim parts here, but I will tell you, use alcohol. It helps to make sure that you're cleaning everything, that there are no dust mites or anything that can get onto the film, because then when you think you're all done, you're driving one day and you're gonna start seeing that there's things inside the trim from the wrap. So make sure you clean it up with some alcohol. And then this is the epoxy glue that I was telling everyone about, that I believe this is it right here. The cracks. Is it this one? I think it's this side right there. This one and that one, they're cracked. So what I'm gonna do with the epoxy glue, if you're unaware how to use this, it's 2 liquid forms that you're gonna have to mix them together. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a water cap. I'm going to squeeze a small amount. Make sure that both liquid forms are gonna go in as so. There we go. Okay. All right. That stopped. Now I have both liquids in here. Hopefully the camera is capturing. Yes. I'm gonna take a zip tie, and then I'm gonna bond them together. It's best if you use gloves. I forgot to put on my gloves, but that's fine. With that being said, I'm going to try not to touch anything with my left hand because I do have this epoxy glue on my fingers and I can feel it. All right, so this is mixed around. And then I'm just going to take a small dab, and then I'm going to remember where it is, where it's placed, the damaged parts. It's not here, it's these two. So let's see if the camera is recording. Yes, it is. I'm going to just smear a little bit on this side, and then I'm going to do the same on this side. Try not to move the trim, the part, too much because you're going to scratch it. I'm using a cardboard box. I should have just left it underneath the plastic of the garbage can, because all of this, I'm using my garbage can as a table. Yep. And again, take your time doing this. Okay, but there you go. These two areas now are bonded. I'm gonna let that dry for about more than an hour, because I'm gonna get started with the wrapping the film. But that's about it. That's all you have to do, just wait and dry. Well, there you go. And that's how it looks. All right, so I went ahead and already cleaned these parts with alcohol. I'm waiting for those parts to dry up with the epoxy glue. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start wrapping it up with the carbon fiber that I have here. May not show this on camera. I'm just gonna be in the zone. I'm gonna play some of my music. I may record, I may not, or I may record little bits of it as the process goes, but this is about where I'm gonna leave it to now. All right, so I'm at the point where I'm gonna take measurements of this part, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cut this out. I only cut about, I wanna say this is 6 inches or so. So I'm gonna take measurements. This is about 7, no, I'm gonna say 8 by 4. All right, so that gives me a good portion of a size, so then I can cut this out and then play with it. That's all you're really doing, just playing with it and making sure there's no air bubbles. All right, well, there you go. After you take measurements, you're gonna go ahead and take a portion of that and start playing with this film onto that part. I have one already there for that side. That is the driver's side. This is the push start button key area. And then I'm start connecting the heat gun. I'm just gonna use my fingers for now and play with it. Because the temperature is dropping, I just used my heat gun and just sprayed a few seconds on the back and front just so it can be a little bit warm and stretchable, so then I can place it onto the part. Alrighty, and then go ahead and take your T10 drill bit and tighten that bad boy up. This looks good. All right, that's one down and that is looking good. I'm not gonna close that up yet because I need to do the other side, but I'm gonna leave that for last. I'm gonna go ahead and do this so then I can put back the console. Oh, but that is looking sexy. So I thought I was done with this one. You know, obviously the corners I would fix, but as I'm looking at it, it doesn't look right to me. And then I realized why. When I place it here, if you look at the pattern, it looks straight. When I look at this one, it's not straight. The patterns are going diagonal that way. And this one is not. It's going straight and I don't like it. Oh man, I did a great job too. So I'm gonna have to take out the film and redo it. All right, here I go. Okay, this is the smaller side, the one that goes by the driver's side. Okay, hopefully this sticks. Nice. All right, there you go. Now, the only part that I messed up is this area right here, but that's fine because this is the area that's going to be by the door. This is the driver's side trim, and the door closes right here. So I really don't mind, but it looks nice. All right, there you go. Looking good. Now let me put it back. All right, there you go. All I have to do is just put back the 7mm bolts on both sides. All right, so this is in. That's in. I put back this plastic shroud. Everything looks good. Now the only one is this one. I did this one already, but I had to I had to take out the wrap because it didn't align right with this one. It was going straight. So now, last one. This is the last one. Just peeled it off. All right. Wish me luck. I'm going in, everybody. I'm going in. All right, now that I got that done, I just got to put this back. Remember, this is the one that had the damaged clips. I think I'm doing it wrong. Yep, like that. I think I'm gonna need both hands for this and get the T10 drill bits and just put it in here. I think I'm gonna have to cut this part right here. This may be a problem. There you go. Just place it back in, screw that 7mm bolt, and then we are good to go. Look at that. All right, now it's time to put this bad boy back in, and then I'll be done. There we go. Now my next project is to take out the doors, all 4 doors, to remove that part and wrap that into carbon fiber. Oh man, I love it. All right, so this is the final product. There we go. It looks great. There's just a little bit right here, like I didn't do a good job, but that's fine. You can't really tell. My next project will be all 4 doors to wrap that in carbon fiber. Oh, but it looks nice, very nice.